Yeah, one of the dumbest arguments online is the whole fact that in order for Nintendo to survive, they need to innovate. I think Nintendo realized this, that innovation was slowly killing them. Okay, so the SNES and the NES were actually very similar. They were just consoles we played. Of course, the N64 had 3D graphics, obviously, but still continuing what made those two consoles successful. But then started to tell stubborn, innovations, of the, oh, let's keep the cartridges, and of course the GameCube with the tiny discs, the Wii with motion controls, and the Wii U with the tablet. But then Nintendo said, okay, let's make a tablet that's compatible with the TV, so you can play both games on the TV on the go. For a console, it was a genius idea, and it worked massively. Okay, why not have a division for handheld and consoles? We can just do both. We can have both teams of developers working on games for both handheld and console. Of course, more resources for one console instead of splitting it into two. Okay, it was a genius idea. I think 90% of people are totally happy Nintendo isn't innovative or some weird stuff like a foreign screen or whatever. It's just a small minority of people who want something like pants on their head retarded like every console generator is annoyed. Nintendo's had to make a rational decision for once. And yeah, Nintendo is not affordable console, okay? Because we see in pictures of the Switch 2 by, who was it again? It was some company. Strader or something. I forgot the company's name. But we saw the pictures of the Switch 2, obviously. And the Switch 2 works very similar to the Switch 1. Okay? Nintendo has seen what sells. Nintendo knows that yes, Nintendo can innovate, but the problem is you innovate in the cost of sales, which is why Sony has been so successful, even despite the lowest points with their home consoles. Okay? It's because Sony doesn't innovate. Sony keeps the same formula, only with higher, horsepower. Okay? And you can even say the same thing with Xbox too. Xbox is the same thing too. Okay? They don't really innovate. And the only one that really was Nintendo. And yes, we do need innovation in the gaming industry, but we need to stop talking about like it's the cornerstone of the gaming industry, okay? Like with the film and movie industry, we need to accept that a lot of people like familiar IPs. A lot of people will buy things if it's familiar to them, okay? A lot of people, for example, I think Nintendo should bring back some of these characters that they haven't used in a while, like Toadsworth, and of course, King K. Rool, because people will be happy they return. You don't need to make new characters, okay? And Nintendo has been stubborn for a while, okay? And yes, Nintendo should be innovative in the games. Like Mario Wonder was a wonderful idea, no pun intended, okay? Mario Odyssey, they introduced so much to the Mario universe through that one game. Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild introduced so much to Zelda. Okay, you can't innovate while making games successful. Okay, many Switch era games proved that Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Okay, Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. Okay, Mario Odyssey, Pikmin 4 had tons of innovations to the Pikmin IP. Even if a lot of them were crappy, like no more respawning enemies in the free Pikmin limit. Okay, Nintendo has always been about quality over quantity. Okay, I think this generation of Nintendo consoles, I think Nintendo's gonna prove that especially. Considering the fact that the PS5 can survive off of no games, okay, Nintendo's will just release the big games and a bunch of smaller titles to, the AA titles they talk about, the spin-offs like Mario Luigi, Paper Mario, okay, the games that are not supposed to sell millions, tens of millions of copies. They'll sell millions, obviously, because those games have a fan base, but they'll not sell 20 to 30 million copies per game. Like a new 3D Zelda game might, or a new Smash game might, or a new Pokemon, or a new Mario Kart might, or a new Animal Crossing, or even a new Splatoon might sell. Okay? And I do think Nintendo should still be making new IPs. I think Nintendo should not just continue this. Okay, let's continue the same IPs forever because people will get sick of that. Look at Hollywood. Okay? Nintendo should not make the same mistakes with IPs like with Hollywood. Nintendo should always be making new IPs. In case a IP, becomes a failure, like how F-Zero did, like how Earthbound did, okay? And those are considered legacy IPs, okay? But yeah, I think Nintendo has it in the bag of the Switch 2. We'll wait to see how the Switch 2 does globally. But that's about this video here. Goodbye.